Hello guys, this is Daredevil and I would like to discuss some things regarding the new patch, the new frontiers, specifically about Invoker. As you know, this channel is about Invoker, so obviously we're going to talk about Invoker. The news are not very good, however, sadly. The hero does have a lot of problems. I think it is the weakest he has been since 2014, if I'm not mistaken. I remember Invoker being extremely weak at the notorious ho ho ha ha patch, the sniper era. Uh, Generally, the changes, especially the removal of the 80% extra damage, made him completely useless in the late game. Um, I don't know how the hero can apply his damage anymore with the spells being reduced. Um, for example, if the meteor needs 1.3, let me check that. Alright, 1.3 seconds to land and all stuns have been reduced, then it's harder to land the meteor because, as we have discussed on this channel, you need meteor procs to get more and more damage, so you want to synergize with Deafening Blast. So you keep the enemy inside the meteor so more damage is applied. That's the simple concept regarding Invoker, most people know about this. Now it's much harder to do this because what you wanted to do is drop the meteor while your opponent was stunned by a teammate, since you don't have stuns, and then you would slide them over the Deafening Blast. That would be the trick. However, the problem is that this is much harder to do now because the stuns are less. That means they will recover faster while they're being knocked back, and they will escape because there are so many items and spells to dodge an Invoker combo. I don't want to go over them again. And that makes it much harder to apply damage. Now, the fact that, as you can see, at max level I have 41% magic resistance. Similarly, intelligence heroes or overall heroes with high int gain will have high magic resistance. And since you get more HP, Invoker currently has, without the Octarine core of course, around 2.3, 2.4 k HP. That's a lot of damage to deal. Again, it's very hard to kill heroes. Now, the hex duration decrease, not that big of a deal, I believe, the way people use the combo, because you would have a refresher and you would be able to stack it again, but the thing is you don't have enough damage anymore. Heroes have higher HP, they have higher magic resistance, they are not going to die, and you also don't have the talent, which means that's it. Regarding the talents, I really have to dig hard, deep to find a good talent. I don't think there's a good talent here. The 6-second tornado cooldown, kind of shit at this point, no way to utilize this properly. The Eyes will damage DPS, shit again, it's one of the worst talents for the hero. And before you try to correct me, there are some usages, of course, spawning neutrals, for example, right? Okay, if you really push about this, you can clear a neutral camp by using it. Well, wow, I guess. They will die eventually, or you can clean a creep wave, but that's pretty much it. The damage is not important. The Eyes will damage is not important. And it would be much better if you had Vector Eyes Wall, but you don't. So in order to go clean a creep wave, you have to walk towards it. For example, you have to walk, then turn around directional movement, throw the Ice Wall, and they will walk over it and die while walking. Alright, that's okay. One usage, I guess. But again, you have to walk to the lane. Right, not that slow because you will have some movement speed. But still, you have to walk, then turn around and throw it. And you will notice that the damage applies every second, which means that the creeps will probably get some last hits. So you want to go backdoor. Let's say the creep wave is fighting here, you want to catch the other creep wave, so you have to expose yourself, which is not a good idea. But if you had a vectorized wall, you would be able to TP to the creep wave, for example. Okay, kill the creeps here, move around. As you go to the jungle, use vectorized wall, throw it here vertically, kill that creep wave while you're farming this. That would be very good, but it's not possible. One thing you might try, okay, I've noticed that, let's say the enemy creep wave is walking, you are able to throw the ice wall like this. If you just throw it like this, the creeps will walk through and won't die, so you can't do this. But you can throw an E.M.P here, and the E.M.P will drag them and keep them on the ice wall, so they will die eventually. But you have to spend 2 spells and a lot of mana to do this, which is it's not very good. There are some combos you can use with a new E.M.P. This is the next topic of discussion, the new E.M.P. The burn damage, completely worthless. If you do the math, it's about 250 damage more. And I'm asking you, when you get the Aghanim Shard, will 250 damage matter? Also, people dodge E.M.P all the times. I don't know if you play Invoker, but you have to use Tornado and then place it completely perfectly in order to ensure E.M.P. But if you do that, you're not getting any usage out of the pool, correct? So, do you have to now choose between... it's not good enough. I don't understand, right? Why the heck you change the E.M.P talent, which is plus 20% max E.M.P burn damage? Why do you change this when you want to buff E.M.P? It doesn't make sense. Change the tornado cooldown. To give the ice wall DPS, or don't give the ice wall DPS in the first place, even better, because if you get the extra E.M.P damage and burn damage, you also burn more E.M.P, right? Why would I use this talent in the first place, previous patch? Let's say there's an anti-mage on the enemy team that has Manta. He doesn't have a lot of mana, does he? So you can actually try... Okay, let's make this a visible representation, because that's better. Okay, you have an anti-mage. Of course you have to out-level him, that's why this wasn't a very good talent, because you had to out-level him. Let's say you have a 20 level anti-mage, whatever he has. We don't care about this, let's give him something. Alright, now let's give him a Manta style, Battle Fury, and possibly BKB, but let's say he needs these items for some reason. Okay. Alright, what is the idea here? You can do this combo, right? He will try and drop and drop. He will fall, he will get kicked. Now, what's the point? See how much mana he has? Okay. If you had the talent, he has no mana to blink out, and you can kill him. Even if he has, though, some mana more for whatever reason, let's give him 1000 mana. Even if he has this mana, if he uses ulti on someone, because ulti costs mana, for some reason he did not lose. Oh, because I have free spells. Okay, I'm an idiot. Okay, let's say he uses ulti. Now you see, if you use E.M.P, he's done. Or, even better, what I used to do is trick anti-mages, right? I place the E.M.P immediately. What they will try to do is use Manta to top the E.M.P, but that's not going to work because I place it perfectly. I want him to use Manta. So he uses Manta, he gets the E.M.P, and now he has no mana to fight. He has to go back, right? And let's say Anti-Mage is an agile hero. He would use Blink 3 to 4 times. And he will probably use this as well, which costs mana as well. And you could fight the hero by burning his mana. You could limit his teamfight potential by burning his mana. That's why the E.M.P talent plus 20% burn E.M.P talent was useful if you used it smartly. But now they removed it. But at the same time they made the E.M.P strong, right? I don't really care about this though, right? He's getting pulled. Oh, great thing. Okay, he left. There's no point. Right? There is some point though, however. Let's say you're a smart guy. So if you do this, you see he cannot move. He cannot move at all. Okay, he cannot move, but he can blink away. Alright, so let's say he's a hero that can blink. That's a useful combo. As I said, the E.M.P idea is not a bad idea, but the current circumstances are such... Let's get out of here because the tower annoys me. The current circumstances are such that the hero is too weak to use it, to make use of it. In any case, I think if the talent was here, the shard would be a lot better, because you would also get more damage, right? You would burn around 900 damage, so the E.M.P would do around 800 damage, magical damage, which is good. Also, the extra 250 damage that we currently have, it's magical damage. All heroes have extra magic resistance dispatch. It's not good. The extra damage is not good. So, in any case, let's... The idea of the E.M.P is to burn mana. That's the most important thing, right? That's how I get many kills, because people do not pay attention to their mana pool. And when you don't pay attention to the mana pool, it doesn't matter if you have Blink, it doesn't matter if you have Force Staff, because if I come in and take all your mana and do a full combo, for example, like this, and suddenly you have no mana and you're dead, because you were farming and I was able to kill you because I'm playing smarter than you. Now I cannot do that as much. Alright, because the game, you know, you usually buy stats on carries and they have a lot of mana, so they don't give a crap about E.M.P. That's the problem. 625 is far too little. You know, later on they will get a Scuddy and it's over. You forget about using this trick, right? It's over. That's why you always have to be ahead with Invoker, in both levels and items. So they made it even worse. There are some uses I want to show you about this. About the mana, but let me get to something that I want to throw out of the window. They completely butchered Cold Slump. Why? As you can see, Cold Slump has 2 points. The freeze duration, which now is 0.3 seconds, was 0.4, and the freeze cooldown, which is 0.62 seconds. Why they completely killed the skill, the spell? The point of the spell was to keep heroes within vicinity and inside the combo, especially after nerfing the Deafening Blast and making it not a stun. Cold Snap would be used in order to keep players in place, heroes in place. The idea was that if you take the 0.62 cooldown duration and subtract the 0.4 originally duration, you had a window of 0.22 seconds, during which the enemy could not be stunned. That means that a hero with a cast time of 0.2 seconds was guaranteed to be able to cast their spells. Alright. Anti-Mage's blink is 0.3 seconds. Do you see where I'm getting now? Usually, if you leveled Quash and was very precise, it was a tough thing to do. You had to have specific attack speed and hit the enemy at this point. You would be able to block him from blinking. Now this is impossible because the total threshold dropped. It dropped from 0.22 to 0.32. Therefore, heroes with a cast time of 0.3, which is the most common cast time of blinks and such, are now able to completely blink away from an Invoker combo. That means you cannot even bait their items anymore, right? Let's say this is not an anti-mage, this is another carry, whatever carry you want, right? With a blink and a black king bar, and you want to force the black king bar. So you could throw a combo, and now he would either have to take the damage or blink and run. Or blink BKB and blink away. Now he doesn't have to BKB. He actually doesn't even have to manta at this point, right? Because he can immediately leave, he doesn't care. So this nerf is not just about the game having less stuns. This specific 25% reduction completely killed the point of the hero of stun locking enemies and casting his spells. He cannot do that anymore. You completely murdered it. So how the fuck do you cast spells? And even if you cast spells, at this point, the meteor does shit, right? It does shit. That's not damage for 30 minutes. I mean, even if you get a Hex and Refresher, what's the fucking point? Right? It's not going to. And he has 2k HP. Okay, great, I killed him. I doubt we will see an anti-mage with this amount of... oh, he came back here, nice. With this amount of items. And usually you will face carries and heroes and even supports with 2.5k HP upwards. So therefore, this is useless, this is useless. There's nothing you can do about it. So how the fuck do you scale late game now? Your meter does 0 damage, your other spells do very less damage because they Resistance is higher on every single hero. Axe without items is 2.7k HP. Imagine with items, right? There's so many heroes that will have 4k HP. What the hell do? You can't do anything. Before you could at least proc some items, right? And allow your team to face them at an advantage later on. Now you can't even do that, because if they're smart, they will just walk away. They will do nothing else. Now, enough with the ranting, let's say about the good things that could potentially, in a future patch, make Invoker a bit more interesting. Back to free spells. So, as we said, what we want with the meteor is to keep the enemy inside the meteor. That's why we use blast, so more damage is applied. Now, with the new E.M.P, we can do something like this, which is very cool. See, you can increase the distance the enemy travels, and that's a very, very interesting thing to do. However, it's pretty weak for some reason. This specific thing, it's pretty weak. Why? Because in order to place the E.M.P behind them, you have to walk towards them. So if the team fight is going on, then there is a support here or here, you're fucked. But let's say he is alone or he is trying to get to you. You can do something like this. Not exactly, but you get the point. The enemy is going to get dragged towards the meteor. You can increase the meteor potency if you want. Right, that's a good thing. The other good thing is that, as we said before, if you try to throw a Cataclysm while the enemy moves, he will only get hit by one in Tornado. The reason this happened I have mentioned in another video, you can check it out in my channel. We can kind of alleviate this, but it's very hard, and I'm obviously not used it because it just occurred. But what you can do, potentially, is, okay, use Sunstrike and then you click the E.M.P to drag him right into the middle of the Sunstrikes. This is the point, that's how you guarantee, so if you want to be a complete idiot and a troll, you can get a Dagon, possibly, let's say, and okay, I want to move here, he will move here, and bam bam, or whatever. Okay, that's a combo. Kinda stupid because it implies that the enemy will drop, and if he has force staff, BKB or whatever, he will be able to walk away, but it's something. Another good thing with this one is that you can basically immobilize enemies, so something like a root, right. So if you see I'm trying to move away, I cannot move away. Why does this happen? Because the E.M.P pulls at the rate of 100 units per second, and the ice wall, the slow, drops you down to base movement speed, which is 100 units per second. So you can basically set up a wormhole or something, and they won't be able to move no matter how fast they are. Now, why is this useful? Right? Because let's say even with an ice wall, if you throw a Cataclysm, well, they will walk away. They will be able to walk away. But with this, let's say, you can now throw a Cataclysm, but they won't be able to move away. So potentially, okay, you can do something like this. Oh, I found you guys here. You're fighting. Let's say they don't have any blinks or something, and I know that they don't. So I can move in, throw, wait for them to fall, and now they try to walk away, they cannot, right, and they die. Potentially that's a good thing to have, right? It's good. I'm not saying it's not. But there is something better regarding this. A combo I've been using for the past year, and does exactly the same thing, but much better in my opinion. Basically you go like this. That's exactly the same. So whoever had this idea about E.M.P, we don't need it. Give us the damage back.